Want to know one of the most misunderstood secrets about what genuinely creates attraction in women? It's not the abs, it's not the expensive car, and it's not even having the perfect words. It's boundaries. Yes, strong, grounded, unapologetic boundaries. And here's the truth that most men never really understand. Boundaries don't necessarily push women away. When they come from genuine self-respect, they can create attraction. But I'm not talking about pretending to be an alpha or playing manipulative games. I'm talking about real masculine boundaries, the kind that come from deep self-respect, a clear purpose, and a man who knows exactly who he is. In today's video, I'm breaking down 6 specific boundaries that can influence subconscious attraction in women, not through pressure, but through presence. These aren't power games, they're moves based on clarity. And when you consistently hold them, something changes in the dynamic. She notices it, she respects it, she responds to it. Stay until boundary number 6, because that one doesn't simply protect your sense of power. It can completely change the way she views you, and even more surprisingly, how she feels about herself when she's around you. So, let's get into it. Boundary 1, the unavailable advantage. Your time belongs to you. That's one of the first and most important boundaries you can establish. At first, this one can feel risky. You don't instantly answer every text she sends. You don't drop everything the second she calls. You don't completely reorganize your life simply because she suddenly wants your attention. And your mind starts asking, wait, won't she lose interest? Won't she think I don't care? Won't she move on to somebody who responds faster? But often, the opposite can happen. When you aren't constantly available, you communicate something without saying it directly. My time has value. My life already has meaning. I already have things happening in my world. She isn't becoming the center of a completely empty life. She's entering a life that already has movement, direction, and purpose. That small amount of uncertainty about where she fits into your world can create curiosity. And curiosity can be powerful because constant availability can sometimes communicate the opposite message. I have nothing else happening. Scarcity has always influenced perceived value, and when your attention isn't endlessly available, it can feel more meaningful when you do give it. You don't need to chase her. You simply continue making room for your own life while allowing her to become part of it naturally. Now tell me, have you ever made yourself too available and then noticed her interest gradually decrease? Drop the word guilty in the comments if you've experienced that, because changing this one habit can completely shift the dynamic of your dating life. Boundary 2, the no apology rule. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. This boundary can change a lot more than most men realize. Here's the psychological part that many guys overlook. The way you say no can matter more than how often you say yes. Imagine this. She invites you somewhere, but it doesn't fit your schedule, your energy, or your priorities. You want to say no, but then your mind says, don't upset her. So you end up saying something like, I'm really sorry. I just have this one thing, and maybe I can move it, but I'll try. I promise. You explain too much. You start backing away from your own decision. You soften your answer so much that it barely sounds like a boundary anymore. And she can sense that uncertainty. Now compare that with this. Hey, I won't be able to make it, but I hope you have a great time. Let's catch up later this week. Polite, direct, confident. You didn't panic. You didn't apologize for having your own schedule. You didn't ask for permission to manage your own time. You simply communicated your decision. A man who can say no without guilt isn't just protecting his schedule. He's showing that he trusts his own decisions. And in a world where so many men constantly try to please everyone, that kind of self-trust can be extremely attractive. Boundary 3, the respect reflex. Address subtle disrespect calmly. Most men imagine disrespect as something obvious and loud. But the truth is, disrespect is often much quieter. It can appear in the smallest moments. An eye roll while you're talking, a sarcastic comment about your work, a dismissive remark in front of friends, a joke that goes just slightly too far. And many men simply ignore it. They tell themselves, she's only joking. They brush it aside. They convince themselves it isn't important. But here's something you need to understand. Allowing every small moment to pass doesn't necessarily make you relaxed or easygoing. Sometimes it simply teaches people that your boundaries don't matter, and she is paying attention to how you respond. Whether she consciously realizes it or not, she notices what you tolerate and what you stand for. If you don't value yourself enough to calmly address disrespect, over time she may stop seeing you as someone with strong standards. Now, that doesn't mean you should explode, lecture her, or turn every situation into an argument. Stay calm. Look her in the eye and say, "Hey, I don't let people speak to me like that." That's it. Simple, firm, grounded. One calm sentence can communicate more than 1,000 overly sweet messages. It shows that you have standards. It shows that you respect yourself. And it communicates that being close to you requires mutual awareness and respect. And here's where the dynamic can change. When a woman sees that you respect yourself enough to speak up without becoming aggressive, she doesn't necessarily feel pushed away. Instead, she can feel more secure because she knows where you stand. She may become more relaxed around you because you aren't afraid of honest communication. Now, have you ever allowed something to slide and later felt slightly uncomfortable about it? Drop the word frame in the comments if that has happened to you, because these small moments can reveal more than you think. Boundary 4, the calm test. Lead instead of constantly reacting. Let me tell you something that can separate a grounded man from someone who is easily controlled by emotion. A woman may notice your emotional stability long before she fully understands your emotional depth. And many men struggle with this without realizing it. Here's what it can look like. She makes a playful tease. She says something bold or sarcastic. She brings up a slightly uncomfortable topic just to see how you respond. And what do many guys do? They immediately react. They become defensive. They start explaining themselves. Or worse, they completely shut down. And what can that communicate? He's easily shaken. He doesn't feel secure in who he is. He struggles when things become intense. But the man who remains centered responds differently. He hears the comment. He pauses. He smiles. And he might say something playful like, "That's cute. Do you always test people this quickly?" That changes the dynamic, because emotional control isn't about pretending you don't have emotions. It's about remaining grounded while experiencing them. And when a woman realizes that she can't easily throw you off balance, she may relax. She may respect you more. And somewhere in the back of her mind, she may begin wondering, what else is he this steady about? That curiosity can draw her closer, because while other men are desperately trying to pass every test they think she's giving them, you remain focused on being authentic and emotionally centered. She isn't becoming the center of a completely empty life. She's entering a life that already has movement, direction, and purpose.